Page 376, number 41. Find all solutions of the equation in the interval 0 to 2 pi. Secant squared of x minus secant of x equals 2. Well, first of all, let's just address this part of the problem. This just means that we're looking for answers only on our unit circle. We don't have to add 2 pi to our answers to get additional solutions. Second of all, let's address what we have up here. Well, we've got two trig expressions. We've got a squared. What we're probably going to have to do is move this 2 over to the other side, set this equation equal to 0, and factor. So let's give that a shot. So the secant squared of x minus the secant of x minus 2 equals 0. Now, if you're ever a little stuck on how to factor something like this, just over on the side, get a little room to work here and rewrite this in terms of some other variable. Like we can say y squared minus y minus 2 equals 0. And we can factor this as y minus 2 times y plus 1 equals 0. Then we can solve each of these for y, set them equal to 0, and solve. But now that I see how to factor this, I can factor this expression with secant the same way. So I can say the secant of x minus 2 times the secant of x plus 1 equals 0. Okay, so now I'm going to set each part equal to 0, similar to how I would solve this down here. So I can say the secant of x minus 2 equals 0, or the secant of x plus 1 equals 0. Well, if I add 2 to both sides here, we get the secant of x equals 2. And if I subtract 1 from both sides here, I get the secant of x equals negative 1. All right, now, at this point, we can't quite look for our solutions yet because we don't have our answer in terms of sine, cosine, or tangent. So I know that secant is equal to 1 over cosine, so I can say 1 over the cosine of x equals 2, or 1 over the cosine of x equals negative 1. And if I take the reciprocal of both sides of these equations, I get the cosine of x equals 1/2, and the cosine of x equals negative 1 over 1, which I'll write as negative 1. Okay, now we want to look for every angle on our unit circle whose cosine is equal to 1/2 or whose cosine is equal to negative 1. So down here I'll write x is equal to, and let's find these angles. Well, we know that cosine is our x-coordinate of all these points around the unit circle. So let's first look for x-coordinates equal to 1/2. Here's one of them, and here's another one. So I've got two solutions there. Now let's look for x-coordinates equal to negative 1. Well, it's kind of hard to see, but I've got one right over here, and there's my third answer. So I've got three answers here: pi over 3, pi, and 5 pi over 3. Each of these three answers will make this original equation true.